Big American hype beers. The UK craft beer scene would be poorer without them.
And we're poorer with them because, let's be honest, getting them over here in the UK is bloody expensive.
But seeking out and drinking these iconic beers is a rite of passage for any craft beer lover.
And it's something that we intend to do on this channel. We're going to find as many as we can and drink as many as we can.
Oh yes, because this is hype beers.
And this is Heady Topper.
Heady Topper!
Yay!
The beer that put New England in New England IPA.
Go with that.
The OG hazy?
Yep.
Perhaps the first New England double IPA?
Absolutely.
The beer monkey that gave Patient Zero haze.
You've gone too far.
I can't help it, man. I'm just so excited because I've waited a long time for this.
I've had it before. So why is this considered one of the hype beers?
Well, I'm going to pour it and I'm going to tell you.
Whoa! Hold your horses there, cowboy!
Oh, come on now.
Read the can.
Oh. Well, that's unconventional.
But who are we to argue with the Alchemist?
Well, let's crack the beer open then and drink from the can.
This is weird, but come on, let's do
Okay,
it.
let's go.
Cheers.
Dude,
Cheers.
Like I say, I'm psyched about this. This is a moment that
It's so warm here as well today, and it's like I'm gagging for this beer.
Obviously, we'll go into this whole ethos of drink from the can. But I think at the same time, after we've done that, we should put a little bit in the glass so we can see
We'll have a look.
a bit of clarity of what it looks like inside the can. So, first and foremost, Alchemist.
Yes.
Who are they?
They're a brewery from America.
Yes.
Yes.
Vermont.
Vermont Stowe, I think, in Vermont.
Stowe in Vermont.
So, New England, formed in, bit of a disagreement, I think, online about when they were actually formed, 2003 or 2004.
Yeah.
But Heady Topper has just had his 20th anniversary this year.
Yeah,
so
2024.
It's probably 24 for the start of this beer, and maybe 2003 for when Alchemist started in a pub, I think it was.
Yeah, I think it started as a brew pub operation. I'll just give this a quick little read on the side. Heady Topper, American double IPA. It weighs in at 8%. We have no idea what hops are in it.
It seems to be a closely guarded secret. And there's a lot of, again, disagreements online about what hops go in here.
I'm sure if we peruse some homebrew recipes, we'd probably manage to find.
Piece it together somehow. Yeah.
John Kimmich, who's the guy that is credited with The Alchemist and credited with this beer. And just some of the notes on the side. So drinkable, it's scary. I mean, that's got me excited. Sometimes I wish I could crawl right into the can.
Same.
That's giving me a chubby. Freshness and control have always been my main concern when it comes to our beer. We are committed to providing you with an unfiltered and unpasteurised hop experience. Here's the key bit. Why do I recommend that you drink it from the can?
Why is that?
Quite simply, to ensure a delightful hop experience. The act of pouring it in a glass smells nice, but it releases the essential hop aromas that we've worked so hard to retain.
We're releasing too much aroma here for my liking,
We need to
we
drink
need
some.
to drink of this. So
Cheers, dude. This is my first ever taste of Heady Topper.
Can't
and
wait
I
to try this
cannot
again.
wait. Oh man,
we're having a bit of a moment there.
I could crush this, and I know I shouldn't.
Okay, right, okay. Before we get into talking about this, because it's a bit weird if you can't see it, I think. So should we pour a bit?
Yes.
We'll keep a bit in the can.
And while you do that, I'll just say, if you must pour it into a glass, you may find that some of the hop resins may have settled in the bottom. So basically what he's going to be saying here is, this beer is so packed full of stuff and unpasteurised that you're probably going to find some sediment.
Yeah, which is fine.
We're not scared of that.
Look at the colour.
I mean, that now looks exactly like the sort of beers that we are drinking all the time in bottle shops and bars and all sorts. That's what we want.
It's got the sort of classic juice bomb haze, but it's got like a West Coast bitterness to it.
It does, absolutely. I was going to come to that. So I'm getting loads of orange on the nose.
Yeah.
And like pink grapefruit.
So I think
or just any grapefruit.
the design for this, the reason it's 6 hops or 6 blend of hops is to apparently give you wave upon wave of different flavour and experience every time you go back in. It goes up and down in terms of bitterness when you drink it.
It does.
It's like a wave of different kind of feeling you get from different kind of hops, and it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, again, just to reference the can, that's kind of the way it's described. It's not designed or brewed to be the biggest or the most bitter, but this is more bitter than the majority of modern day Westies
Yeah.
almost. This is a proper beer.
Yeah.
This is, it's dry, pithy.
It's doing what I wish a lot of modern beers would do, really, and focus on the bitterness.
Take a dip into that IBU.
Yeah, and yeah, great. Have the haze, have your juicy tropical notes, and in this, it's, as you said, orange, tropical. There's, I think, the tasting notes say pink grapefruit, pine, a bit of spice, which you're getting all those actually, and the pine is really prevalent, and that's the West Coast.
So just to also pick up on the freshness, because one of the things about this is that it's absolutely essential that you enjoy it fresh. Now, obviously, when we talk about getting US beers over in this country, there is usually that, obviously, with shipping, there's that lag, and you aren't necessarily going to get it at its freshest. But Paul, I have a canned-on date on this, and it is 22nd of May, 2024.
No, it isn't. It's the 5th of the 22nd of the 24th. So I can't remember what the 22nd month is.
May 22nd. That means that from the day that we're at, this beer is 10 days.
From New England to the UK.
10 days old.
In 10 days.
So we are able to enjoy the beer fresh, which is quite important. So we are catching this as it's intended. Also with the thing with, obviously, the availability of this beer, it's difficult to get even outside of Vermont when you're in America. Yeah. They make it a lot, but they don't. America's got all these weird kind of shipping laws and like state regulations. Yeah. So even crossing borders in other areas of New England or other states on like the eastern seaboard, there's all sorts of nightmares about that.
Yeah.
So it is quite difficult to get hold of them even outside of Vermont.
And before anyone asks, we've got a guy, and no, we're not going to let you know who it is. We've never revealed our sources.
I suppose there's also the element of the price to consider. Obviously, you can get, I think I was looking online before we went live on this, and you can get these really cheap. If you get there at the source, you can get these really cheap over.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, you can. It's ridiculous. It's just a totally different world. In fact, we pay so much money for the privilege of drinking these, but
for the amount that we've paid for one can, you would be able to get a 4-pack. But hey ho, it's not often that you get the chance to do it, and it's a lot cheaper than going to New England. So that's going to be
there is that.
It's not as fun, but.
What's your preference? Do you prefer it from the can? Do you prefer it from the glass?
Well, I've just had it from the glass, so let's have a.
I mean, there's not much in it, to be fair.
I'm gonna
go
right can on this.
Yeah. There's it retains a slight aromatic edge to it. I mean, it's very subtle, and obviously, if you leave a beer in a glass for a period of time, it's going to get sort of diluted. And
it's, when you mention the word wave,
yes,
and it's written on the can, as you sip it, all the carbonation that's in that just washes through your mouth. When you drink it through the can, it just funnels into your gob. You get it's like a wave washing over your palate, which God. I don't think you get when you drink it from a glass.
Am I going to be a can drinker?
So, drink from the can. Is it just a marketing ploy? No, I don't think so. I think it actually works.
Yep.
Plus, there's also the element of, I'd love to speak to John. It'd just be interesting to talk to him about that kind of, that logic, I guess. Because, I mean, there's something in it, or is it just because it's been suggested to us? I don't think so.
No, it's that little bit had been in the glass for 5 minutes, but it's muted massively from what it is in the can. So, get it?
This is absolutely packed with flavour. If I was going to guess on any hops, I'd say, because we're going to assume that this is going to be an American showcase, because at the time that this was brewed, it would have been just American hops.
Yeah, no New World stuff.
There wouldn't have been any of the New World stuff. Yeah. So I'm getting a lot of like Simcoe, I think, there.
You just sort of cursory looking through it, I think people are thinking Simcoe is like the primary one. But
then maybe some of the ones over in...
Centennial seems to be a highly voted hop that's probably in it. Amarillo as well, I think. So yeah, I'd love to know the recipe, but I don't think we'll ever know.
So I suppose the next question is, to round this video off, is it worthy of the hype? Should you part with, let's be honest, about £16 of your purse to
how much?
To buy one of these? Yeah.
Yeah, it's slightly pricey.
I'm going to say yes. It's worth the money because of the availability, because it doesn't come around often. It's typical supply and demand economics.
Well, what does hype beer mean in the context of American beers in the UK? It means something different from the readily available beers in this country. Hype beers in this country are things that come about, annually or on a small cycle, and have gained so much fandom and traction because of the quality that they become hype beers and they start going up in price. Whereas this isn't going up in price because of the popularity, it's going up in price because we're importing it from a different continent.
Yeah.
So, American hype beer, for me, it's the OG hype beer because,
yeah,
as you said earlier on, it originated the style, or it helped cement what that style becomes.
But no, for me, I would say this is a worthy hype beer. If you can get hold of it, then it's worth it just for a one-off. By no means I'm going to be buying this on the regular every time I see it.
Yeah.
But if I went over to New England and I could get hold of it, I'll be finishing many a session with it.
Yeah, I'll come back with a few suitcases worth. So yeah. Oh man, Heady Topper, brilliant beer. The Alchemist, brilliant brewery. They're historic, and I think there's a lot of breweries across the world which are standing on the shoulder of these giants, really. So, from my opinion, absolutely a hype beer.
It's a double hype because I agree with all that. So
good stuff.
Yes. So cheers, I guess.
Cheers, absolutely.
Ah.
Oh.